Good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Kiss Community Connections at My Kiss 1031. I'm Phyllis Jones, your host, and I have a good guest. All my guests are good, though. But I always wanted her on my show. She doesn't know it yet. So now she's here. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hi, Miss Phyllis. I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
See, she's being really polite now. But, you know, I told her, due to her age group and what happened this week, and her age group was missing in action, I don't want her to answer for everybody, but I need that answer from her age group. Okay. This week, in fact, on Thursday, the George Floyd bill was on the floor. And there's more than one way. You can let go of the mic. Okay. Just pull it down.
Okay. It will stay. Okay.
Okay. It's acting like it's whatever. Weird. But anyway, okay. But anyway, the George Floyd Act hit the floor. And when you find out that a bill hits the floor, you have various ways to contact that legislator. You can either email them, call them, or show up. I encourage, when all these bills come to the floor, I do encourage everybody to do something about it. In fact, last Sunday, I let you all know I wanted you all to say something about the bill. And I was there on Thursday, naturally. You know, I'm going to be there because, you know, we do need to pass the George Floyd Act. You know, when one cop is beating down somebody, the other cops should not get to stand there with their hands in their pocket going, how long is this going to last? They need to be jumping in it and stopping the crazy cop. But anyway, when I was there, I didn't see many people. Emily's age group wasn't there. I saw like 2 people in her age group there. And I asked about letters, and the legislators, Ron Reynolds and Sophronia Thompson, didn't get much feedback from the younger generation. And I know the younger generation is concerned about George Floyd, what happened to him, and other men. But I know they have concern about that because they marched, they talked. I mean, they did events. It was like, oh, my gosh. But when it came down to actually standing up where those numbers count, I didn't see them. So, Emily.
Yes, ma'am.
Your question. She's like, oh, man. My thing is this. Okay, what happened with George Floyd last year was terrible.
Yes, ma'am.
We had rallies in our area.
Mm-hmm.
We had events in our area.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's it. Then it hit the floor on Thursday, and that was still it. So what we need to know what you want to call it? Those of us who fight, you know what I mean by fight,
yes,
we need to know how to get you in there and not just stand outside holding a rally, holding a big event, and then y'all go home and eat popcorn. So what do we have to do, and where were y'all? Where were you?
So me personally, that particular day, I was not involved, you know, if I have to answer from my standpoint. From my standpoint, I was not directly boots on the floor involved. For my standpoint, I do things to promote people, to get them pumped up, to get them full of confidence so that they can go out on their own and tackle every little task that they need to do. Right now, I'm in the middle of doing an event at the Courtyard Marriott to boost confidence in young ladies, to make them feel confident. And that's the whole thing, is to build in their tips and their tools, making them feel confident so that they can go out and tackle whatever task that is, because we never know what the task will be. Now, when it comes to young people, and I feel like a certain age generation and a lot of, I can fit in a lot of age generations, right? Because I may look like a certain generation, but my mind is another generation. And so I feel like I'm gifted to kind of dance with a lot of different generations. I don't really fit into one class. But when I do look at, for example, the generations that are coming up behind Miss Phyllis, that come up behind me, and when I look at the younger generation, when I just look at anyone coming up and trying to get them out, because everybody is on social media saying this. Everybody is standing somewhere, rallying, wearing a shirt, ready. But the big point to what Miss Phyllis is saying is that when it's time to go down there, when we're going down there, where is everybody? And from a big perspective, and I think the big thing is that sticking to the mission, right? And so whatever your mission is, whatever your angle is, whatever your direction is, you just got to stick in that area. And every time somebody show up, the mission is getting handled. I know it's getting handled because I see so much work going on around me, right? I see so much change going on around me that I can't say is not being handled. But I do believe that we all have to come together to divide and conquer. I believe that it's going to be people who's going to show up at that front door. I believe it's going to be people who's going to be on them phones. I believe it's going to be people who's going to be pulling people out of bed. It's going to be people who's encouraging the others to keep going. You know, it's going to be people who drive someone there, who feed everybody, who make sure they got water. So do I feel like we're not involved? No. Do I feel like us getting involved looks different from another generation? Yes. Do I feel like it needs to be a bridge to the understanding of different generations and what involvement looks like? Yes, I really, really do. Because sometimes we feel like, you know, the generation above us or behind us is not moving like what we're moving, but they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. They were literally groomed and conditioned to be different. That's the only way we can evolve as people, is that if we do different. 10 years ago, you know, things were operating like this. If we kept teaching our children the same thing 10 years ago that we can teach them now, we'll be in the same predicament. We as a people, we have to continue to evolve. We have to be open to change. We have to be open to new ideas, and understanding that just because we don't know what it looks like, we don't understand what's going on, that doesn't mean we're not fighting the same fight.
But you know what, that's true enough, except for when you talk about our legislators, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when, I'll say Thursday, when George Floyd bill hit, what counts to them is numbers.
Yes.
The very thing that we don't think about is, like somebody told me, she said, I was there in spirit. Your spirit wasn't counting, sorry.
Your spirit was, I agree. Your spirit don't count. What was your spirit doing? Was your spirit typing away and writing a letter?
My thing was, if I say, hey, listen, there's 2 ways to help out on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
One way, Wednesday or Tuesday night or whatever, email that legislator and say, hey, listen, I support you. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to write a paragraph. It could be, I support you on the George Floyd Day. Because this is what happens. When that legislator goes to the floor, you know what they need? They need what's called, and I've said it again, white papers. White papers are emails that you send. Mm-hmm. If they go to the floor with 500 pieces of paper, those other legislators are not going to have them read them. You know, no, don't read all of them. No. They need, so the legislators, they need white papers mm-hmm. or your presence.
Right.
No matter what year or time this is, those are the 2 things that are needed. Uh-huh. And if those 2 things aren't there, your bill that you died for, oh my gosh, I want that bill to pass. Well, if they don't get neither one of those, no one thinks that anyone cares about what that legislator's done. It's like, okay, it's like, you wrote this bill, you don't have nobody here, you don't have no letters, no one supported you, so guess what? We might let it through, we might not.
So y'all hear that? So that, okay, so I got a follow-up question. So mm-hmm. Are you telling me that they have to have tangible, physical print out from the copy machine letters in their hand?
Yes, when they go before the floor, when the legislator goes before the floor uh-huh. to battle anything, they take with them the people who support their issue. Mm-hmm. So if it's 10 of us that support the issue,
yes, ma'am,
and 10 of us send in an email, that's 10 emails, but we don't want that. I want them to walk in with like 500 letters.
From emails?
From emails, because that means that 500 people took their time to send those emails. So now those legislators and the senators on that floor.
And they have to print out every email.
Yes, they do.
They have to mm-hmm. by law.
Well, not by law. They do because they want to show that this many people support their bill. You know, they want to show. They want to walk on the floor and say, Emily, look, I got 500 people who support what I said.
Now, I got a question, because an email is nothing but a thing, people. An email is nothing but a thing. Yes. So you telling me if 10,000 people send an email, right. They copy machine yes. got to print out 10,000 letters
right. That's right. And
to show
yes.
that we got these emails.
Yes.
First of all, I don't want my tax dollars going to that paper. That's what I'm gonna tell you, Miss Phyllis. I'm gonna have to have the know, they gonna have to just bring those numbers down and say.
No, they don't need. She needs as many as she can get.
But I understand.
But when they walk to the floor, you can't tell them to bring what they can't. Okay, petitions are dead. Mm-hmm. People are now still doing petitions, and that's as archaic as the day is long. I don't know what they want them to do with a petition. I don't know why people do them now.
We got to find a better way to do this. We got to find a better, because it's. I know people want to get involved, and I know people want to show up.
Well, then they can go.
And I know people, they probably don't know. That's one thing I know. It's a lot of things people don't know. Mm-hmm. I know it's a lot of things that, because when you have the lack of knowledge, you know, that kind of, I think that has a lot to do with confidence, honestly and truly. I think the lack of understanding, the lack of knowledge definitely has something to do with confidence, and having that confidence to say, oh, I got this. I can go in there and I feel good about this. But the whole thing with the emails and the whole situation is that people, we got to get involved. And for those of you, I know you're crying out like, I'm involved, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. But honestly and truly, we gotta make it work for each generation. Like, generations have to come together. We need leaders. We need leaders within generations to come together, because can 5,000 people meet in one room, you know, and say da-da-da? No, but can, 50 leaders meet in one room that handles those 5,000 people? I believe so. So we definitely need some leaders in the community. I do consider myself a leader in the community, and I like to move forward in that leadership. So I know I have people behind me. I know I have people who believe in me, who support me. If I say we're doing this, they're like, Emily, what we doing? So
well, guess what, Emily?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Phyllis calling something out of me, y'all. Y'all hear that? Did you hear her?
Okay. Well, you know what? See, this is
what you need from me, Miss Phyllis.
This is going to tie into what her event is going to be about.
What y'all need from me?
Okay, this is what I need. Okay, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you hard. I'm going to hit all the men hard.
Okay, I'm going to take it too. I'm going to take
the Crown Act is the next bill coming up.
Okay, we listening.
Okay, the Crown Act, as you know.
The Crown Act.
The Crown Act is to allow our hair to be worn the way we wear it. Remember, all these boys have been kicked out of school because of their hair. Mm-hmm. Well, this is called the Crown Act. It was written by Ryan Reynolds, your state legislator. Mm-hmm. He wrote it to stop that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we don't fight that, we look really crazy. Because our boys don't need to be kicked out of school because of their hair. It's our heritage. Next will be the girls, because after they get through with the boys, it's going to be the girls. We've had seniors who didn't walk last year because of their hair. So when that bill comes up, I expect everybody to, I don't care if you got to do a cartwheel.
Miss Phyllis.
You got to do something. Yes.
Miss Phyllis. Now, let me let me tell y'all something. And this is so much to tell y'all, because I want to be on live. I want to be interacting with my audience, and I can't. I don't know what it is with this area, but my phone's dead. I'm not able to capture this moment. And so for those of you who are listening, let me tell you, I appreciate this woman, and I know what she's doing, and she's doing it in such a way that I commend you, Miss Phyllis, for doing that. I commend you, Miss Phyllis, for doing that. And for those of you who are catching it, you caught it. For those of you who ain't catching it, you're gonna have to listen to this later. But Miss Phyllis, you got my support, okay?
Okay.
You got my support. For those of you who know me, you I don't have to speak at why, but you got my support. We not having that. That's not gonna be the situation. Right. I don't want to use all my words that I would like to use, because Miss Phyllis caught me very off guard, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, she caught me very off guard, and because of that, all I can say is that I would do my part. I would do my part. I would make sure my part is done. I know I have a big voice. I know I have people behind me, people who, like I said, that's like, come on, girl. You that cowgirl. We following you. Where we going? We going into the fire. All right. We fearless. And so for all of my fearless people out there, men, women, even my little babies, I got some little babies who is fearless, y'all. We're going to do our part. And so you have my commitment. And on KISS 103.1.
And I'll give you all the information you need.
And she's going to keep me in the loop of what she needs from me. Thank you for calling on me. I'm honored. I'm truly honored. Thank you for calling on me, and thank you for trusting me and to lead in a generation.
And also, as an African female,
yes, ma'am,
we are never caught off guard.
That's right, because we're ready.
We're ready.
We ready. They said if you stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. That's what I was taught. So we ready. That's why I said ready. No problem. We ready.
Okay, so now that we tackled that big issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Did y'all hear her voice? It went from hi to wait a minute.
Wait, what? They doing what? I wish y'all could see my hair right now.
She got on some stilettos. I think they fell somewhere off. But she did a whole, whoosh, what?
What? I just got my locks retwisted.
But like I said, we do need to jump on that one because
absolutely
it doesn't make sense for that one boy who got his hair colored in by a Sharpie. The teacher colored his hair in with a Sharpie. Yeah. So those things don't need to be happening to our kids.
Now when you're messing with dignifiers, and I'm gonna let Miss Phyllis bring this back on around because I know she got a good plan for this. But okay. Nah.
All right. When I met Emily, I realized that she wasn't one of the ones who was waiting for that handout. I realized that she was a young lady that wanted the hand up, not out, up. I realized that, and I was like, she's cool. She'll make it. And what I mean by make it is not live or die make it. But as you know, those of us are older in our community. And the one thing we look for so we can sit down is someone to take our places. Not our one place, not do all so-and-so does, no. But to take some of our places, because a lot of people wonder why some of us are still standing. It's because we can't find you. Mm-hmm. If we can't find you, then we know we can't sit down. So I look at Emily as a young lady who could take someone's place and say, hey, you know what? You could do this. I got all this over here. I got it now. So that's what's looked for, and that's what I see when I look at Emily. I see the young lady who can say, you know what? I got it. All right, I got this piece. Because, there's a big, huge pie, and she could say, I got this piece right here, okay? All right, good. Then we can focus elsewhere. But that's what I think of you, Emily, as the young lady who could take a piece of the pie and take it on and keep it rolling and pass it off to the younger generation, younger than you.
Thank you.
But anyway, Emily is having an event coming up today.
Tomorrow.
No, today.
Today.
And she's okay. And she's here to talk about it and bring us to it. So what are you doing? What are you doing later on today?
Later on today, I am going to have an amazing fellowship at the Courtyard by Marriott right across from the Killeen Mall. We are going to gather and have a wonderful meet and greet amongst specialists and experts in the field of self-care. Self-care is a field that is full of specialists who encourage people how to build their confidence from within. We teach individuals how to walk in their confidence so that they can be successful in their day-to-day lives. We're going to have this event going on from 9:30 until 3 p.m. It will be a 3-part series. We're going to open with mind, body, and soul. So we're going to start with a master social worker, Retanya Pierce, who is also a life coach, who's going to talk about stress and triggers, anxiety, and how to identify those and how to conquer them. We're going to have an apostle, Dr. Claudette Morgan Scott from Shiloh Worship Center in Belton, Texas, who's going to go over the Sunday Word and talk about how a spiritual community is important. We have other specialists like GNC, who's going to talk about nutrition. We have Dillard's, who's going to come in our third part, who's going to go over fashion and insights and how to get spring and summer ready with accessories. We have Mac, who's going to teach some women some makeup tools and tips. We have myself with Living Right, who's going to go over the skin health, hydration, and moisturizing techniques, and other estheticians and hair specialists. the big thing and the big picture about this event is, again, making women and individuals feel confident. So I have the luxury of using my platform to inspire others. I am thankful for that confidence in myself. It takes these tips and tools that I've created within my lifestyle of living right, my brand, that keeps me going, that keeps me ready to take on situations and things in this society like what Miss Feelings has given me. It gives me the right to take that baton. Everything that I am pulling together for this event helps me stand on my 10 toes when I'm given a baton in the middle of whatever day, and gives me the confidence that says, I will take it and I will run with it. And when it's time to pass it, I will pass it, and I will also condition the person that I will pass it to. And so I am thankful to build up some warriors in this county, in this district. And the world. And so I'm really honored to have all of the participants, all of the sponsors. Thank you, Kiva Hester. Thank you, Raven's Nail Salon. Thank you, OK Cigars. Thank you, Ross Kitchen. Thank you, Shiloh Worship Center and Dr. Claudette Morgan Scott Ministries. Thank you, Ohana Inc. Thank you, KISS 103.1. Thank you, Miss Phyllis. And I've been thanking myself throughout this whole process, and I encourage everyone to thank themselves. Thank yourself. I definitely thank myself for seeing this through, for taking this position and accepting new positions along the way, and still keeping my head up and saying, yes, I got this. And so I thank myself for having it. And
what made you want to do this?
I wanted to do this. It's been about 5 years in the making, Miss Phyllis. So 5 years in the making. Living Right was established in 2017, and we started operating in 2018. And during those early years of writing it out, I remember getting a rush full of information, like in one night. And I talk about this, and I don't know who felt this or who haven't, but I assume people like Amazon, people like Walt Disney, people like Henry Ford, people like Miss Phyllis, people who stick to the mission, they have felt this before, our leaders in the community, our leaders in the business world, they felt this. And I got a rush of information, and I literally wrote it out really fast. And since that time, I have been actively directing myself and positioning myself to execute what that is. And anytime I sway, because the wind blows, and sometimes it's heavy, I strengthen myself. I put the weight on my ankles so I can stay exactly where I am and stick to the mission. And so my mission has always been to create a line to make women and men and people all over the world feel confidence. My mission has always been to create a luxury line, because I feel that we deserve it. And a lot of people do. I'm in this field, and I see people spend silly amounts of money on silly things that does nothing for them and does not prolong their health whatsoever. But for whatever reason, they felt the need to purchase it. But here it is, a luxury that can prolong your life. And the amount of pull that I have to go through at times to show people that they deserve luxury. We deserve luxury. We come from luxury. We deserve luxury. It's in us. There's no reason that you already know what you want and what you feel and what you desire and what should be on your skin and what should you. If you walk in the area and you feel a way, it's because you know what you deserve. It's everybody can walk in the area and be like, I don't want to walk that way, because you know what you deserve. Right. And I want to instill that confidence in others to know that, hey, you deserve it. You have the power to go get it. And don't let nothing stand in your way. It's no reason. You got to get your mind right on what you deserve.
And you know what else it takes? And you're right. What else it takes? The women that you can't reach, it's not that they're not listening. It's that you need to recondition them.
Yes.
they're listening. They heard you.
Man, that's work. That's where the work is, y'all. And I do it every day. And that's when you realize, that's what gets you back when you start to swift. You're like, nope. I got in here because I know it's women who right here with me that's like, hey girl, of course, they my tribe, they my sisters. But it is those women who deserve to be right here too. Who deserve to have this mindset too. And if they had it, golly, do you know what we can do?
And then there's also the other women that you must teach them that they do deserve it.
Yes.
There's different facets of women, which is ridiculously hard to, when you're meeting a group of women and you're explaining what you do, you got to be two people at the same time that you're explaining. Mm-hmm. Because you got to, when you're talking to that person, rapidly as you're talking to them, your feelers are going out to them. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to be receptive of their feelings, of their energy, while you're talking to them. So at one point in time, your speech will flip because you've realized, I'm losing her. So you're going to pull on the feelings that she gave you and what she gave you, and you're going to have to redirect your speech all over again because you realize you were talking at her, not to her, and not on purpose. It's just that you assumed you all were in the same gauging group, and you found out the inside, no, she's not.
Yeah.
She isn't in that group. So the hard part is teaching multifacets of people at the same time.
Yeah.
And getting all these women to know you do deserve it. I don't care how you used to live. I don't care how you grew up. And it's not that you don't care. You do care, but you're telling them.
Put it out the window.
Yes, sit over there. Yes.
Get it off it's not at the dinner table, okay? We threw that trash bag away. They came to pick up the trash on Thursday. We got rid of it. You know what I'm saying? What's at this table, what we're preparing is way beautiful than any of the trash we took out. And so, yes. I talk to a lot of different, and not just me, but anybody in this industry. You gotta be quick with it. You definitely, one of my first things I wanted to go to school for was psychology, right? It was psychology. I really, really, really was like, oh, I have this big heart and I want to understand how to help people with the heart and I want to do this. And I guess that's just what I thought, this is how you do it. Right. And I took coursework and I got to understanding, some social behaviors and childhood development and nonverbals and communication. And it was moments where I was like, okay, which direction are you going into? When you're in college, and this was years ago. When I was like, what are you want to be in communication? You love people, and it kind of got down to business for me. Right. Like I'm in business for business. I'm in business for business. I'm in business to increase and encourage and inspire others to get into whatever business that is. When I grew up, my grandma has this thing, you mind and attending. And so growing up, you think, oh, what you doing? Oh, I'm minding and attending. I'm doing my business. I'm minding and attending. I'm minding. So I would always think, oh, I got to have a business. Right. I got to get me some business. Everybody minding and attending they business. And I got to get me some business because I need something to mind and I need something to tend. Right. But you got to get you some business. You got to get you some business. Find something to tend your attention to. Find something to dedicate your time to and make it fit within whatever sector is needed. Because, yes, I did want to go into psychology. But I am doing that psychological work right here in this area of beauty, in this area of healthcare, in this realm of business. I'm able to do that. I'm able to walk as a businesswoman and to do different things in the community. I'm able to build up confidence and to increase others and deal with different levels of not just women, but people. Yes. And encourage them and inspire them. And that's big to me. Like, I feel good about that. I feel really good about that.
And in Killeen, I don't know if you know it, but do you know in Killeen we have 54 languages?
What?
And we have 60 different nationalities.
What? Did y'all know Killeen was the 20th largest city in Texas with 150,000 people? Dang, I didn't know about the languages.
And Ellison High School has more diversity than any school in the United States.
Wow.
So that school is definitely
Y'all, Miss Phyllis
diverse.
just blew my mind. Like that was a real wow. Like what? Wow.
Because of its diversity, it is.
In the United States of America.
And I did not look that up. I'm not going to say yes, I did not. But my other life, I'm the state education show for Texas State NAACP.
Right.
Which puts me talking to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a Zoom call with people that I should not have been on there with. Reason why I say that, they were all professors, and I am not. Anyway, but as far as education, I was on there. And we introduced ourselves, and one of the professors out of Maryland, when I told him, I live in Killeen, he goes, Ellison High School. I'm thinking he went there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, yeah, you went to Ellison? He said, no. Did you know about Ellison High School? I'm like, my daughter graduated from there. I'm thinking, I don't know. I said, whatever it is, I don't know it because I didn't look it up or whatever. What is it? And he told me, he said, Ellison High School is the most diverse high school in the United States.
Wow.
And I'm looking, on Zoom, I'm like,
on
what?
Elm Street. You're like, the one on Elm Street. Okay, go
said,
Ellison.
He said they've been holding that record for some time now.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, and I asked him, I said, I understand that's a man, I didn't know. I said, but what other significance does that mean?
So, Miss Phyllis, I got a question.
Yes.
So you're gonna get me up in Ellison High School, I presume, to speak in front of these young kids.
My daughter goes there a lot.
Okay.
I asked her what she do.
So,
but she can't go. They can't go now because schools can't have visitors.
Schools can't have visitors, but we gotta get in front of, because if they got the largest diversity in the country,
right?
And you're telling me they're about to pass this bill. What's the bill called again?
With the Crown Act.
The Crown Act.
Yes, hair.
About hair. And
being able to wear hair.
Being able to wear your hair, and this is the most diverse school in the country. And so I would love to get involved with Ellison. I don't know who is in charge of Ellison.
It would be easy to, what you would do is find out who the principal is and email the principal.
Okay, so see, we need guidance. That's what the people. If you don't know, ask. When I say ask, people are like, Emily, how you be getting so much stuff done? I ask.
That's right.
I ask the questions.
That's it.
I sit down and I figure out what's the right questions, and I ask and I get answers. It's super easy, y'all. So there it is. Ellison Principal. My name's Emily Wright.
But you know what you might do?
I will find a way to contact you.
You know what you also might not telling you too, but might is hold a Crown Act Saturday session with some kids.
Okay.
Explain what the Crown Act is. It's attacking them.
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
And you can sit with them, and they can, on their phones,
mm-hmm.
they can email whoever they need to email on their phones right there.
Yeah.
But y'all can break it down. What does this mean to you that they talking about the control of your hair?
So we're going to have to get a few different generations involved in
Mm-hmm.
this. You see that? So I need my older generations to break down what these acts and things like that mean. How do they affect us, and how do we get involved? I need a middle generation, because y'all going to be the ones that vote. You know, these high schoolers, they can't vote.
But they can send an email.
They can send. Ooh.
Yeah, see that?
Wait a minute. You ain't say that, Miss Phyllis.
No, they can send an email.
You telling me the emails can come from people that are not 18 years
Correct.
or older?
Yes, because it affects them. That one affects them.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that affects them.
My little teenagers. Did you hear that?
Do it while they on their phone. Here, you want me to send? Bam.
You can send an email from the same email account your Gmail is through, or your iCloud is through, or your Instagram. Because I know you got an email. Because how you set up your IG account, how you set your Twitter account, your TikTok account up. You got an email. And all you got to do is send an email. They didn't say it had to be professionally written. They didn't say it had to be 500 words.
No, they can just say, I support the Crown Act.
literally one sentence. Miss Phyllis,
that's it.
What's the email address they got to send it to?
I'll get it to you because I know the legislators. I'll get their email addresses for you.
We definitely need that email address
to
be
today.
Yes. I don't know if it's a way we can put it into this interview we're doing, but that definitely needs to be interjected into this interview.
I'll put it in there. I'll mention it again, but yes.
Perfect.
Because it'll be Ron Reynolds. If anybody knows how to search, it will be Ron Reynolds, your legislator Ron Reynolds, and Sophronia Thompson. They're both on Facebook, actually, too.
Okay.
But,
so I support the Crown Act.
That's it.
Needs to be emailed. One little sentence. Now, if y'all are, some journalists and you want to do your research and you got a thirst to just type and write and a heart to go at it, do that because those are going to be needed. But for those of you who are like, I want to get involved, I want to know what to do, I really don't know what to do, number one, ask. Right. Just ask. Say, hey, I'm interested in doing this. What do I do? That person will take you to the next person. And just be mindful. When you're trying to execute something, I will say this, be mindful of where you're using your time and who you're going to. Like, you really have to go at it with wisdom. Don't allow yourself to go to someone where you know they're not going to be able to give you that information. If you know this person is in this field, narrow it down. Say, okay, I want to talk radio. Go find you a radio person, or go find you somebody who knows radio, and they're going to find you the next person. If you want to find out something that has to do with the school, like I said, I don't know nothing about this school. I know it's on Elm Street, and I know I drive past it, and I know how to get to the school. But yes, I'm excited to get to know who this principal is, to get to know this principal, to help out this school and their students, because what's going to happen is what's not going to happen is we're not going to allow this to surpass, because we got a lot of things riding on this act. I will say that. Yes. It is a lot of things riding on this act. And because we are already in the direction of where we're going, we ain't going back. We not going backwards. We're going forward. And so for those of you who are interested in working with me on this movement, however it will be, whatever it turns into, please email me at shoplivingright.com. That's SHOPLIVINWRIGHT right.com. I will be at the Courtyard Marriott tomorrow at 9:30. If you would like to do a meet and greet, you can come meet me there. I would love to have you for our event, the Living Right Experience, a day of self-care.
Is there a way they can call you?
Yes, they can call me. Do people call? People will call you. People will call me.
Because if you don't give a number, they'll call me.
They'll call Miss Phyllis. Okay, y'all call Miss Phyllis. y'all call Miss Phyllis, and she will get to me.
They'll call, hey.
Miss Phyllis know my number. The people who need to know my number know my number. So if you're listening, you want to email me. If you want to call me, call somebody that knows me. Ask them, do you know Emily?
Just simply show up tomorrow.
Just simply show up tomorrow. That's it. That's it right there.
Or today, or Sunday. What time?
9:30.
Okay, show up at 9:30
at the Courtyard, across from the Killeen Mall.
And please come with an open mind.
Come with the open mind and come. It's Sunday. It's Palm Sunday. We are here to build confidence. Make sure that y'all come and look good, feel good initiative. Like, make sure y'all look good and y'all feel good when y'all come through those doors. Definitely.
That's good. And also, while Emily is building her Crown Act committee team, don't say it doesn't happen in our area. Because I'm going to tell you, a little girl in Belton, she had a faux hawk. Remember, not a mohawk. Mm-hmm. She had a faux hawk. At the end of the day, the principal decides, hey, you come here. Mm-hmm. The principal decides to suspend her because of her hair, because she had a faux hawk. So the principal, called her parents, told her parents, she's suspended, and told the parents they can meet the next day. So the parents came, got their daughter. Mom was, ticked off because she looked in the handbook. It is not in there. Mm-hmm. Not in there. In fact, the hairstyles in the handbook were from 1980s.
Wow.
So they hadn't redid the book. But it wasn't in there. So the next day, The parents came to a meeting. I came because the parents had called me. I was there because I wanted to see. I couldn't find faux hawk in there either. Mm-hmm. Couldn't find it. Mohawk wasn't even in there at all either. Mm-hmm. So we sat there, and I got there before the parents. When the parents came, the principal liked to feign it because both parents are Temple police officers. Mm. So that was oh my gosh,
Oh my God.
But anyway, they tried to battle and win this, but they could not win because it wasn't printed in the handbook. So since it's not in their handbook, they couldn't say anything about it.
And we got to make sure they don't put it in the handbook.
Thank you very much, because when they redid the handbook, I made sure I got one, and the parents made sure they got one, because we do know this is what's going on. The young man that was on Ellen DeGeneres with the locks.
I remember.
We do know he lives in Texas.
Yes,
he did not get to walk.
He did not get to walk.
And still today, you figure he got a scholarship money, from her show. He got all this, and guess what? In their school board this session, I talked to everybody there just about, and they still let it pass. So in their school board, at their school, locks you cannot have. Wait, it described it. Because I'm a battle with them because they said no separated hairstyles. Okay, I got a problem with that. First, I laughed because I realized that they didn't know what they were talking about. Because our hair grows separately. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you can't tell me I can't have a separated hairstyle. Your hair grows separately. Your hair doesn't grow in clumps. Mm-hmm. One strand per spot. Mm-hmm. But just to let everybody know, Texas has really been harassing the boys so far. If we if we don't vote for this and it does not pass, girls are next.
They are, and let me share.
And it's a mindset.
It is a mindset, and it goes back to biblical times. Samson and Delilah, that's where his strength is. But we're not gonna take it to the biblical. We can't take it. It is Sunday, right, Miss Phyllis?
But we're gonna tell it.
But here's a personal experience. It's definitely, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real situation, and we have to know how to react. Earlier today, me and Miss Phyllis was talking about being able to react in the proper way, being able to use what's in you in the right way. Like we have so much in us, and we have to know how to respond with it properly. Like, it's no point in having weapons if you don't, you know how they say don't bring a knife to a gunfight?
Right.
Okay, people, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You know what I mean? You got to learn how. You got your tools, you got your weapons, you were blessed with those weapons, and you have to learn how to bring them to the fight. And a personal experience with me in this situation, and I know that if we think deep, we have a personal situation. So I want y'all to think of your own personal situations and get that ready for what we're going to do with the Crown Act. So I remember first coming to Texas, because I'm not a Texan. I'm not a Texan. Me and Miss Phyllis, we from the same town, we not a Texan. And when I moved to Texas, I remember working somewhere. And I won't disclose, I'm not here to do all of that. But I remember this was before natural was this big thing, where I was from, people wear their hair out. Like, I'm from Detroit, hey, hello to all my Detroiters, but we wear our hair, you just wear your hair. It's just your hair on your head. It's not like this thing, it's hair. And so we wear our hair, and we are very groomed people, we are very well-dressed people, and I'm a well-dressed individual. And I remember having my hair in a way, as hair is, and I remember not my like regular general manager, but we had a district manager that definitely was in the building a lot, and she told me I need to tame my hair. She used those words, tame my hair. And my reaction, so strong and very young and everything, my reaction was letting her know my hair is tamed, because I also know how to handle myself in areas. My hair is tamed. What do you mean? I wanted her to explain what she meant by this. I wanted her to break it down. And what do you mean? Where in our handbook, we say you have to wear your hair all up or all down. And at the time, I believe my hair I had on like a headband or something. Right. And so my hair was technically all down. And I'm a black woman right now. I do have locks, but in that time, my hair was a regular state. It was regular state. It was at its natural state, you know. And I had on a headband. It followed the guidelines from what I had to. It was a very, this day we wore this color, this day. So I was in guidelines. I was in uniform all the way through. My earrings weren't bigger than a quarter. My hair was all down. But she asked me, can I tame my hair? And then told me, and I told her, well, my hair is tame. What do you mean by this? And she said, well, we have to wear all up and all down. Would you like a ponytail holder to pull it up? I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. My hair is fine, just how it is. And I went to my area and I left it at that because she is, again, a district manager. We don't talk on a day-to-day. You don't give me direction. I knew my place and I knew her place at the moment. And so I went to do my position, and I got in that position and I did my position. And that made me look at that company a lot differently.
Right. Yes.
I will say that it made me really start paying attention to, because I realized that they were looking at me differently.
Right.
That they were looking that if I didn't look how they thought I looked, then they wouldn't be able to be successful in their business.
Right. Yep.
However, they also need me to be successful. And I say that because sometimes we are afraid to use our power in what we are. But guess what, y'all? I am a black female. I am a black female. Do you know how many people want black females on their business? Who have to have a black female on their business to get government funding?
That's it. Yep.
Do you know that your business needs me to operate? Do you know that as a black female? Like you got to know where to use your power. And so again, I went to my position and I did my work for that day. I stayed at that position until I felt the need to leave. And I didn't change my hairstyle.
Right. You can't.
Because it was nothing to change. It was in guidelines, but she used the word tame as if my hair is an animal.
Which is what she thought.
Which is that she thought that if my hair looked like an animal, then the company could not grow.
So with living rights,
yes, ma'am.
Supporting the Crown Act,
yes, ma'am.
You're doing the same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
You're building strength.
Yes, ma'am.
And also we're teaching, because you're going to teach the young men and women that are coming up behind you. I'm going to fight for your hair.
That's right.
And not only is the fight, it's our heritage. This is more than just our hair. It's our heritage. It's our birthright. We were born with the hair we got. And there's a reason for it. We'll talk about that later. There's a reason for it. And the way we design our hair, it is not our fault that we are the ones who uniquely would change their hair every day. We're the only ones that do that. Because we're the only ones that can. But we need to teach that. That's a good thing.
That's nothing wrong
We need to teach, and we need to teach our younger people. I'm going to say this because I'm going to get smacked real hard. I know that they don't have to be blonde to be successful. They can wear their hair. And I'm not going to, if you're going to wear whatever, wear your hair. But we need to teach our young women to be secure in their locks, their braids, the twists, the whatevers.
In their natural state of hair.
Yeah. I know when my daughter graduated from Ellison, but her teacher called me one night. My daughter wore braids. She was also an honor student. But he didn't know that because he didn't know that yet. So he called me one night, evening, and I'm thinking, I know she didn't do nothing because she's the smartest kid in your class. I'm thinking to myself, he said, I need to apologize. For what? He said, your daughter wears braids. Yeah, she always has. He says, well, I misrepresented her braids for her brain. He didn't realize that she was the smartest kid in his class, but she had braids. So he had taken that braid issue to her brains to say, you got braids in your hair, all this and that, all these beads. Not the beads, she had the gold little things in her. He took that as she must not be smart. But when he had to ultimately find out, yes, you're smart enough to cause you to read a book.
Wow.
So he apologized for that. And he was like, you accept my apology? My answer was no. Because how many other girls went through that before her? How many boys did you go through with that before her? How many of our kids have been judged by hair, which I can't understand. Hair and brain don't have nothing to do with each other. But how many of our, so we need to teach our kids we're going to save them.
Yes.
So I'm glad that Living Right is going to be out there, not out there in the streets, whatever, but be there to say, you know what?
I support the Crown Act.
We support your Crown Act. We want to protect your hair.
I want to protect your hair. I do.
And she wants to protect her kids' hair. You want to protect your children's hair.
I want to protect the hair of the community and the families of those that are here that is going to be impacted by, because it is going to impact me in my future. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was a woman who was in a job, This wasn't my school. This wasn't a school. This was a job. You know what I mean? And even if you are the school, guess what, people? Your kid. That school get government funding for having your child, right, that same black child in that school. And so, yeah, we definitely have a lot of power. I know the power is heavy sometimes. It's heavy for those who have to receive it. So for a moment, I just want to speak to those who have to be on the receiving end of this power. It's coming full force, and it's best to know your battles.
Yes.
Know your battles. Like, for those of you who are on the receiving end, know your battles. It is bigger situations. Let's not spend a lot of time. Let's not spend a lot of fight with this. It's a simple situation, and it's real big problems that need your attention. Yes. And so I don't know who those people are who are on the other side of this, right?
Right.
I just know who my team is.
That's right.
when you go into the playoffs and you like, I just know my team. Like, I know my team. I know who is on that team, and I know what they come with and how they come, and it's full force. And it's bigger fights. So I really don't want to exhaust all my energy on this fight. I really don't. I really, really don't. I think it's bigger fights to fight, yes, that our energies both on the defense and the offense side could be used. I really do. So for my offense, this is simple. This is a simple situation. This is not a fight. This is not a let's tear us apart. This is not a let's separate it. This is not that at all. And so it's a simple fix. It's easy.
It is.
It's really easy. It is what it is. People's hair grow how it grows. You can't stop that. And guess what? The population, or the people whose hair grow like this, the population is full of them. And that number is increasing every day. And so in order for those systems, somebody told me about an assembly line the other day. If we're in an assembly line, you can't stop this piece of the assembly and expect that part down there to produce the same outcome. You just can't. And so this is not something I want to spend a lot of time on. This is not something I think it needs a lot of time. This is a simple thing. Y'all heard her. Send an email. I support the Crown Act. Is that easy? We're going to get that email address.
Yes.
For whatever it looks like in the community or whatever, look up the Crown Act. Figure out what it is.
Look it up.
Look it up. It's Google the Crown Act. How does it affect me in whatever state you're in whatever county, district, whatever you see how it affects you? But it's not hard. It's not hard. Whatever. It's not complicated. So I honestly, I know that it's bigger fish to fry. And it's bigger fights to fight. And so this is just something we just got to get through. We just gonna get through this. It's gonna be good, and You know, it's simple math to me. 1 + 1 = 2, Miss Phyllis.
It is. Okay, so before we close, where are we coming at today?
We are coming to the Courtyard by Marriott across from the Killeen Mall. We're going to be there until 3 p.m. We're going to talk about body, mind, and soul, hair, nails, and skin, beauty, and fashion. And we're going to build confidence. We're going to build warriors. We're going to help people understand how to properly take care of self and what that is.
Cool. I like that. And I thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Miss.
Because we covered a variety of things.
We did. We did. I got homework.
We covered everything is about learning.
Everything is.
Everything is about, and when we learn more, we do more. And when we learn more, we go seek to learn more. If that makes sense. Because when you learn one thing, you be like, so what else is hiding? Let me see.
Y'all better be happy my Wi-Fi don't work. Because if my Wi-Fi worked in this building, we may be here a little bit longer. Because I'm like, I can't even research into this stuff right now. But yeah, I got some homework to do. I'm thankful. Like I said, I'm thankful and I'm honored for the beautiful words that you shared with the community, with the station today. I'm really honored. And so thank y'all. Thank y'all.
She'll be back.
Thank y'all.
She'll be back.
I'll be back.
Okay. I want to thank you for listening to KISS Community Connections at My KISS 103.1. But I want you to always remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.